Master, what is it that you need me to do?
Don't get involved in any battles. Forget the notion of unions. Find Keyblade wielders with potential and create an entirely separate organization. Then, like the seeds of a dandelion, let them fly to another world. They will keep the light alive.
You really think that I'm the right person for this?
Ava, you're the only person for this.
I understand.
Good tidings, ladies and gentlemen of the lodge, and welcome back. Today's video is going to take us into the wild world of Kingdom Hearts, so this video will not be for the faint of heart. Ava is a character that is often a topic of discussion, mostly because there is so much mystery surrounding herself and her surrounding circumstances. She did not appear at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, the Master seems to treat her differently than the rest of the foretellers, and she played an active role for all of the dandelions who are bound to be significant to the future of the story as well. But what if I were to tell you that much like her counterpart Luxu, and in a similar fashion to Terra, that Ava has been hiding under our nose the entire time? Now let's get after it. Let me start by saying that I want to give a major shout out to Umbra Munin, who came through in the chat during episode 126 of the Lindy Lodge podcast, not only providing images for us to break this theory down, but also offered his insight and context to the theory as well. So anyway, let's break it into two parts. On one hand, the evidence we'll examine will be the physical appearance of the Lich and Ava and the overlap between the two, and on a second front, we will work our way into discussing Ava's role. But starting with appearances, let's first take note of this right here. The pink and yellow accents that we see throughout the Lich's design is in direct overlap to Ava's outfit from back cover. Again, we see it with the color palette, but there are a number of other details I'd like to point out as well. Starting with the eyes. We see that the yellow eyes of the Lich match the yellow eyes on Ava's fox mask. And another detail worth pointing out is the end of these chains. The same item can be seen scattered throughout Ava's outfit as well as the other foretellers. So, between the overlapping colors, the yellow eyes, and the similar accessories, we can see a few similarities on the surface. But let's take this all a step further now. Once we open up the possibilities of fox motifs to match Ava's mask, we can see a few more possible overlaps. Starting with the Lich's claws, which easily could be taken as fox claws, but could also just be a common design trope. But then take note of the fact that the Lich appears to have a canine-like mane as well, right above the heart emblem. And on top of that, the Lich also does appear to have whiskers like a fox as well. However, moving away from the physical appearance of the Lich itself, take a look at the emblem on the end of its staff. It matches the emblem on the teeth of Ava's Keyblade. So we not only see a lot of overlap with the physical appearance between the two, but with the ends of their weapons as well. So to sum it all up, appearance-wise, we've got the overlapping colors, the same color eyes, the ends of the chains matching, and then if you include fox motifs, we have the claws, the canine mane, and some whiskers. Then continuing to move on looking at their weapons, we see that the emblem on the teeth of Ava's Keyblade matches the emblem on the edge of the Lich's staff. So with all this overlap between physical appearance, it certainly is enough to raise some eyebrows, but personally not enough to have me fully convinced. However, once we start to rope in the next section, suddenly this theory becomes more viable. Let's talk about Ava's role for a minute here. The Master made it Ava's role to gather the finest Keyblade wielders and form a new organization. Now, there are many ways to take this within the context of the Lich. One could see the Lich holding the Guardians hostage as its way of gathering the most powerful wielders, but one could also see that this is the Lich, in a sense, recruiting Sora. Perhaps Ava has an interest in bringing Sora into the world of fiction, and this was a way to make it happen. Hell, you could even take this in the opposite direction and say that in defiance of her role given to her by the Master, Ava could be bringing Sora to Quadratum as a way to thwart the Master's plans. And who knows, maybe she's got Sterlitzia involved as well. all in all, Ava's character and circumstances are still so surrounded in mystery that the possibilities for the character are relatively endless. However, seeing as her clash with Luxu is what ignited the Keyblade War, I have to imagine these two will be at odds in the future. And wouldn't it be great if Ava was hiding right under our nose in much the same fashion Luxu was? Also, seeing Terra end up as Ansem's guardian was one of the best parts of Kingdom Hearts 3. Seeing something like this be possible opens the door for characters like Ava to pull a similar move. Whatever the Lich ends up being, whether it be Ava, Ava's Heartless, or even something completely unrelated to this theory, I do believe there's a chance it will become a critical part of the lore moving forward, and perhaps there was more to that Lich than meets the eye. All in all, whether or not I think this theory is true, I think it's definitely possible. I think there's a chance that Ava really could be the Lich. But again, seeing as there's so much mystery surrounding Ava's character right now, it's hard to say anything is for certain. But what do all of you, ladies and gentlemen, think? What are some of the flaws or missing evidence that I may have not brought up in this video? I want to hear it from you, dearest viewer. However, with that said, be sure you are subscribed for more Kingdom Hearts content, drop a like on the video, be good to yourselves and each other, and I will see all of you sickos and normies next time.